Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? NBA YouTube, it's your man, 100 grand Ross with The Rock Never Stops. Coming to you with another episode of NBA Talk. Today, man, it's almost seeming like it's one of my favorite themes of this season. Is getting into telling y'all what's wrong with these Knicks. And I've said it before, check the videos in the past, and I'll say it again. Tom Thibodeau was absolutely the wrong choice for the New York Knicks. Today we're going to talk about that. If you like the video, smash the like button, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications of new videos coming out. But I really want to get into this. People might see me as a hater on the Knicks, but if I'm honest, I really love the Knicks. I really love what they stand for. The mecca of basketball, what the game was always supposed to be about. How they have some of the best fans who actually know the game, who cheer at the right moments, who boo at the right moments, who understand what they're seeing on the court, and their expectations are just as high. It's not just about winning, it's about how you win, how you consistently show up and compete. And the fans know when it's a good product out there and when it's trash. And when you see the image caption for this video, it's interesting because I got it from this article that was talking about the Knicks last season, how they had matched the win total season of the 99 NBA Finals Knicks. And I was looking at this caption and this image, and I was realizing, I was like, that's what certain Knicks fans actually thought of that team last season. Now, if I said it once, I said it a million times. Last season was a fluke. It was a fluke. Matter of fact, last season did more damage to the Knicks franchise than I can remember in recent history. Last season was a waste. It was fool's gold. It was it was it was making it big too soon before they were ready. Julius Randle, it was great to see him take that next step. But they were not supposed to make the playoffs last season. And they couldn't figure out how to lose on purpose with one of the deepest drafts in recent history. Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes, Jalen Suggs, Book Knight. These guys that are looking like potential franchise changing players. Even Davion Mitchell. Guys who are going to make an impact for a long time. The Knicks, they missed all of that. They missed all of that. Why? Because they wanted a first round exit. Why? Because of Mr. Tom Thibodeau. Mr. Can't get right. Mr. Can't seem to read the writing on the wall. When I was thinking about him yesterday, I was thinking like Tom Thibodeau is like the definition of a grunt. You just send him in there and say, go and try to figure out and win. And he never picks his head up to realize he's not gonna win. It's not gonna work out for him. He doesn't have what it takes. And he needs to create a different strategy, a different plan. He doesn't ever realize this. And so he keeps thinking that he's competing for a championship. For some reason, he thinks he still got the Bulls with Derrick Rose as an MVP. He thinks that this roster is supposed to get into the second round, Eastern Conference Finals. He really believes that sacrificing the playing time of these young players, and this is what I really want to talk about today. He really believes sacrificing the playing time of these young players for these veterans is going to get him closer to winning a championship. And that's what's wrong with the Knicks. Not only is it not going to get them closer, it's going to get them further and further away. The last game with the Knicks, where they played against the Milwaukee Bucks, you saw them have to play Quentin Grimes, Kevin Knox, big minutes, because RJ Barrett and other guys were out. They're on COVID protocols. right? Health and safety protocols, right? And so as a result, all of a sudden now he has to play these young guys who have been healthy this whole season, young guys who have shown their talent or at least have talent, right? This whole they have been sitting there. And what they do, both of them showed out. Quentin Grimes, Kevin Knox, were cashing in threes, showing defensive toughness, great energy, even if they obviously still have things to learn and work out. But the question is, why weren't they being given an opportunity to work all that out all along? Why are you playing Alec Burks over Quentin Grimes? Why are you playing Kimball Walker over Emmanuel Quickly? I even said this last year. I was talking with a friend of mine when they made the playoffs and they decided to take Elfrid Payton out of the starting lineup. And then they started Derrick Rose. I said, aha, aha, there goes Tom Thibodeau thinking he's competing for a championship. And instead of playing Emmanuel Quickly as a starting point guard in the playoffs to see what he can do in a playoff situation, giving him that invaluable experience to see could this be a lead guard that can take you into the playoffs, they started Derrick Rose. We know Derrick Rose is the goods. He's the goods. Even if he's not an MVP candidate, he is somebody who can go out there and get you a bucket any day of the week. He can compete at the highest level still. He's a competitor. But you know he doesn't have as much in the tank anymore. You know he's not going to carry you for 2, 3 rounds. You know that this team, and should have known that that team was not going to go far. And that where they should have been focused on was tanking. Now, this is the second part of it. Julius Randle. I get giving him the responsibility as he's elevating, making an all NBA selection, all-star selection. That's dope. But what the Knicks should have been doing was what the Oklahoma City Thunder are doing. Say, I know we have an all-star talent, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, but we're not going to play you every single night. We're not going to play you if you're not 100% healthy. We're not going to play you against just anybody, and we're not going to play you major minutes. We're trying to lose so we can get a transcendent talent because this roster is not the business. If they had taken that approach last season, played Obi Toppin 20 plus minutes, played Kevin Knox 20 some odd minutes, this team would not have won as much. Hopefully, they wouldn't have even made the playoffs. And if the basketball gods had blessed them, ended up with a top 5 pick. I mean, we already know the NBA wants the Knicks to be good. We already know. Getting Zion, I think they kind of lucked out. Missing on John Morant, I feel like they got slighted. The, the NBA should have made sure they got John Morant. But either way, Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes, Evan Mobley, even Jalen Green look like they're going to be just as good as any John Morant. Just as good. Zion, who knows if he's ever healthy, but all those guys look like they're going to have far healthier careers. Why weren't the Knicks trying to lose last season? Because they got a guy at the helm who keeps thinking that he's competing for championships. Now the other part of this is Tom Thibodeau's limitations are just abundantly clear. He's a defensive minded coach who still believes in working harder, not smarter. He's a grunt, grinded out guy, what they call blue collar, hard hat. The NBA is sophisticated. It's white collar. Smarter, not harder. You look at the Golden State Warriors, the Milwaukee Bucks, look at teams that are winning. They have great offensive systems and defensive strategies. Tom Thibodeau can't spell offense. You look from the beginning of games to the end of games. The Knicks don't score easy. They don't. And his inability to be creative enough to get guys the playing time that they need while still competing is the reason why he is the wrong choice for this job. They need somebody like JB Bickerstaff, over in Cleveland. They need somebody like what's his name in Houston, um, Steven Silas. They need somebody who's got creativity who can say, you know what, I'm going to mix and match these lineups so that our guys get playing time. Kevin Knox is a 6'9" athletic shooter at around 220, 230 pounds. If he develops, do you know how big he can be when it comes to winning a championship one day? He could be a number 5 guy in a starting lineup to win a championship. I believe that if he develops. But the problem is the Knicks have never committed to his development. Mitchell Robinson, bringing in Taj Gibson for what? You got Nerlens Noel. Why do you need 2 veteran centers who are going to steal playing time, especially in Tom Thibodeau's defensive system? Why do you need Kimball Walker if you got Emmanuel Quickly and you still got Miles McBride? Why are you bringing in guys who are taking the minutes of young guys who need playing time and the opportunity to develop? And now, in a year where the draft is not deep, it's not very top heavy, now the Knicks can't seem to win. You know why? Probably because Tom Thibodeau probably burnt out all his vets. Not totally burnt. I'll tell you right now, Julius Randle ain't got that pop in his stride he used to have last season. Could it be playing hella minutes, mad hard all the time? Saw what it did to Joakim Noah, Luol Deng, Derrick Rose. They hit the wall. They hit the wall. And their careers were never the same after that. You can't win in the NBA with harder, not smarter. And that's the definition of Tom Thibodeau. I'm sorry to say it, but I love you, Knicks. I love y'all enough to say you got the wrong guy. You need to get somebody who can play the young guys, get creative, get this team focused on development. Have veterans, yeah, like Alec Burks, sure, but not taking the minutes of Quentin Grimes, not taking the minutes of RJ Barrett, not taking the minutes of Emmanuel Quickly. Get some complementary guys who are going to come off the bench or have limited starting roles so that Obi Toppin can show what he can do. He obviously looks good. Obviously looks good. Extremely athletic. Can shoot the 3 ball, pick and roll. Doesn't need to hold the ball all day like Julius Randle does. Why aren't you giving these guys 20 plus minutes a game? Knicks, it's time to let go. Tom Thibodeau's got to go. If you like the video, smash that like button, hit subscribe, hit that bell notification so you know when I'm posting again. Because I'm going to post a couple more today. But with that, I'm out. Peace.